Okay, so yesterday we are about to discuss about the data table
Data tables.
activities. Yes. So if you want to perform any data table activities, you should be have a data table related activities in activity panel. Okay, which means whenever you search with the data table, all data table related activities should be present. If these are not present, do you know what we have to do?
Yes, we need to go to the manage packages
Exactly. We have to go to manage packages and we have to go to all
and then all
packages. We have to
packages.
search here
Like,
with the activity, whatever you want. It's not only
yeah,
for data
sure. I
table.
got that.
I mean, if you are not available, I mean, if you're not having any of the PDF related activities or Word related activities or Excel related activities, anything you can able to follow the same thing. Okay.
Okay.
So make sure activities should be available in activity panel if you want to perform any activity on top of that particular related task. Now I'm performing data table related task. That's why all data table related activities should be available in my activity panel. So data table means, as I mentioned already yesterday, I mean, whenever you want to store the multiple values in one particular place in the form of table structure, you can able to use data table, like how we are storing our values in our Excel sheets with multiple columns and multiple rows. So in the same way, we can able to create, or we can able to store our values within the data table. So first of all, I'm just building a data table, which means I just have taken this build data table activity. So if I just double click on this, you can see this data table is reflecting with multiple columns and multiple rows. So of course, this is a column name. You can able to rename this by this edit column button. So let me just quickly edit. This is a column name. Let me just provide like name. Okay. It is asking the data type. Okay. Data type in the sense, what type of data type do you want to allow the values in this column? Let's say name is obviously it will be a string, so I just will provide it like a string. So it is having a next option as do you want to
Hello.
allow null, which means I'm just giving as a check mark, which means I want to allow a null, which means at one of the column, if I'm not able to provide any of the value also it should allow. That is what null in the sense empty value. So now my any of the column in this column, any of the row, it will allow for the empty rows as well. I mean empty values as well. That is what it means by. If I don't want to allow the nulls means I just make it as unchecked. The next thing is we have default value. Default value in the sense that will provide it in some time. Okay. The value what you can able to provide inside of this column. So you can hear me properly, right?
So now it is a little bit hard.
Yeah, I just switched off my Bluetooth. So it is having low battery. You can hear me now, right?
Okay. Yeah, I am able to hear, but it's a little bit hard. So okay, no issues. I'll manage.
Which means my volume is low or what?
No, it's clear only, but little bit hard, like bold. I can say it's not a smooth in voice.
Let me just reduce the volume then.
Sure.
Okay. Hopefully it is clear now, right?
Yeah, now it's clear. So
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So hopefully you got all these sections in a column. Okay. I mean the default value we will provide in some time. So unique in the sense, I mean, do you want to allow duplicates as well in this or not? That you can able to control here. Unique in the sense, there is no duplication. It's called as unique. So if I click check mark means it will not allow any duplicate values in this column. So which means let's say I have provided Raghu name here. In next row, if I provide the same value, it will throw an error. It will not allow. Why? Because here I just have selected. I don't want to allow the duplicates. I want to allow only the unique values. That's why I just have mentioned here. Okay. So and also here I'm
Yes.
just having a maximum length of the row, maximum length of the cell, which means in this particular cell, in this column of every row, what is the maximum length do you want to allow? So that characters as well you can able to provide here. Let's click on OK. So currently I'm having one column with name. Let me just rename with the second one as well. This is, I'll make it as age. Data type is integer. This is fine. I want to allow null. Everything is fine. Click on OK. So let's click on one more column. I mean, add one more column by clicking on this plus icon. OK. You can see one new column got added. So I'm just providing like address. String. This is fine. Click on OK. So you can see now I'm having 3 columns and 2 rows. Let me just add some of the values in this column. Let me just provide my name, and my age, my address. Another name, age, address. So likewise, you can able to add any number of rows here and also any number of columns here. I think this is the way you are storing your values in Excel sheet as well, right? With multiple columns and
Yes.
multiple rows. So this option is also available. Let's click on OK. Now you can see this is expecting, we just have stored some values in this data table. That is fine. So we have to assign one name for this particular data table, which means you just go to variable and you just create a variable. Let's see, variable name is employee details. Okay. Variable type should be a data table here. You can see there is a data table data type as well. You just have to select this, which means you have created a data table of employee details. So now we have to assign this one here. Let's go here in output area. This pass as employee detail, which means what it is mean by whenever you call employee details, these all values will appear. I mean, what are the values you have stored inside? Okay, we have stored all these values in one data table, the data table name as employee details. Let us quickly execute this. And one more activity I just want to tell you, like if you want to, let's say for example, I want to display this one with the message box. Okay, I'm just passing it as message box. So it definitely will be have a problem with this employee details. Okay, why? Because employee details is a data table, and this message box will display only the text messages. I mean, text only it will allow, right? So it will not allow any other data types. So currently, I want to display this data table with this message box. So how can I do that? I mean, earlier we are having an internal, input internal options, internal functionalities to convert into string, which means we can able to put like dot to string, dot to date, anything we can able to perform. That is to convert that one variable to one data type variable to other data type variable. Now to convert this data table to string, anyway, currently we are having a data table. So this data table we want to convert into string, which means a message box can allow only the string value. We have to convert this data table to string. So for that, what you have to do is you have one more data table activity, which is output data table. Remember this. This will be very important to you when you are working with the real time. Output data table will not perform anything. It just will be helpful to convert the data table to string. That's all. There is nothing other than that. This will convert the data table data type to string data type. Simple, you just select it. You can see here it is expecting a input as data table. It will provide an output as a text, which means all the values will be present, but it just will convert only the data type from data table to string, which means let me just create a new variable with the string, which is employee details str. Okay, this is a variable type is string. This is fine. So just go to output data table, just pass employee details data table here. Under output here you just pass like employee details str. Okay, by this employee details data table is converting to string. That string value is available in employee details str. Now we'll display employee details str within this message box. Have you got the logic what we performed here? We have a data
Yes,
table,
sir.
but we need to display with the message box. Directly data table will not allow to display a message box within a message box activity. So for that, what we did with the help of output data table, we have converted data table to string. So the string value we are displaying with the message box. Let me just quickly run that once. Save this activity and let's run this activity. You can see whatever the values are present in the data table, those all values are available. I mean headers and two values. So of course, like this, you will be have in future, you will be have a work with the multiple activities, okay, which means sometimes you would have to add your multiple columns to the data table. Currently we're having 3 columns, right? So you just want to add one more additional column, which is employee number. So by that time you can able to use this, you can able to provide the employee column name for that particular data table. If you want to add any additional rows into this data table, currently I'm having only 2 rows, right? So I'm having one more row. I want to add that row into this data table. So that particular time you can able to use this. Build data table, you already know that. Clear data table in the sense data table will be there, but all data would be erased. Sometimes whenever you want to get this, you can able to use this as well. Filter data table, filter in the sense based on the condition. I mean, whenever you can see the salary column is there. So wherever you can see salary is greater than 1 lakh rupees. So that time you want to get all those items into the different data table. That particular time you can able to use this. So for each row in data table, we will see in future. So of course, these all things definitely will be helpful. I mean, remove, sort, update. By looking at this itself, you can able to understand what this work will perform. What is my request is whenever you get a time, you just try to use all these and just try to perform. Just try to see the functionalities itself. I mean, try to see the properties at least. By that,
Sure, sir.
you will come to know what activity this will perform, what is the inputs this will expect, what is the output this will be. Okay. Okay. Are you clear till here?
So yes, sir. I don't have any questions, sir.
Okay, no worries. So now we'll get back to the other topic where we are with yeah. So till data table we are done. So now we'll just move to the recording concepts. Okay. Recording concept in the sense recording is basically will be helpful for us to perform to automate any kind of application. Okay, which means let's say for example till now you have performed some activities within UiPath itself, which means you have added some activities, you have moved some values into the data table, you have displayed that with a message box, you have took some input from the user. So everything is happening within the UiPath itself. But from now we are going to work with external applications in the sense the application which is available outside of UiPath. Let's say for example you may want to automate some notepad, or notepad is available outside of UiPath. You may want to automate Excel sheet, you may want to automate any of the browser based applications, which means google.com or facebook.com, flipkart.com, etc., with any of the browser. So you may mostly have to automate these kind of applications in your real time as well. Okay, that particular time you have to use this recording option which is available in your UiPath. With the help of this recording option only, you can able to automate any kind of application. So here recording in the sense that is what I mean. We are just getting the control. I mean that particular item into our control, into our UiPath control. Let's say for example, I want to automate the notepad. I want to type something into this body of the notepad. Okay. When I record this body of the notepad with my UiPath, then only this whole body will come into my UiPath control. Whenever this body is under my UiPath control, my UiPath can perform any activity on top of this body of the notepad. It can write, it can click, it can double click, anything it can perform. So to get this whole area into my control, we have to record that. With the help of recording option, we can able to perform that. One more example. Let's say, for example, I want to click on the file button through automation, through UiPath, which means I want to get this particular whole area into my UiPath control. When I record this area, then only this particular button will come into my UiPath control. Whenever this button is under my UiPath control, I can able to perform any activity on that. Let us just quickly automate one of the application. Based on that, you can get clear understanding. Okay. So currently, I just want to add one more thing here. We will be having multiple recordings, multiple type of recordings. So based on different applications, we will use different type of recordings. So first of all, I'll tell you what are types of applications we can able to automate with UiPath. Remember, within UiPath, you can able to automate any kind of applications, which means mainframe application, Java application, SAP application, web application, Windows application. Any application you can able to automate.